Yo, welcome to the latest edition of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. In today's episode, man, things are getting comical, man. Things are getting comical. Before we get off into the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video, share the podcast. And you know what my mantra is. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. Well, look, man, it's getting real comical in the college football world, man. And it seems that, Deion Sanders is going to be in the news all year long because of the things that he's doing at Colorado. He got the sports world on notice, and it's getting comical because these people are taking these subtle jabs at Deion. Deion is that same person, prime time, when he played the sports. And now he's coaching and he brings that same swag. And that's why it's called prime time. But before we get off into this video, today's episode is sponsored by...
This episode is sponsored by True Choice Insurance. Here at True Choice, we take a different philosophy when it comes to providing you with your insurance options. We emphasize the value of the products we offer, instead of playing on the fear of you not being protected in your time of need. True Choice is affiliated with more than 60 insurance companies. This makes us one of the most independent agencies in the state of Texas. Please visit TrueChoiceInsurance.com for all your insurance needs.
Yeah, once again, man, shout out to my man Brian Kelly and his wife over there at True Choice Insurance. You guys will get with them for all your insurance needs. Please visit the website at www.TrueChoiceInsurance.com and tell them K-Sap sent you. Well, today, man, it's getting kind of crazy, man. It's always a storyline leading up to each game, each week, the way the games present themselves. Now, if you go back to last week when Colorado played Nebraska, when Nebraska was coming up to Boulder for Colorado's first home opener, things escalated pretty quick with the Matt Rule press conference before the game took place. Now, Matt Rule said some things, and Jay Sanders took exception to it, like he was disrespecting his pops. And if you notice, the pregame, when Colorado was coming out for their pregame, the whole Nebraska football team and Matt Rule was huddled up around the Colorado Buffalo, and Jay Sanders was having none of that. So he went in the middle of it and kind of broke it up, threw his rollie up, showing people, and he wasn't having that. And he said it was downright disrespect. And if you guys go and look at that play that happened in that Nebraska game, when Jay Sanders was scrambling on that 2-point conversion, almost like Deion said, like a Heisman moment. And, he made the 2-point conversion, but they called it off because they said the ball hit the ground. But Shador got a flag on that play because he took his helmet off. And Deion said that he went up to his son and said, "Son, you can't be doing that. You can't take your helmet off." And Shador looked at his dad and said, "It's personal." Things have got real personal, man, and they're taking a lot of jabs at Deion. Colorado State is going into Boulder this Saturday to take on the 2-0 Colorado Buffaloes. Colorado State is coming off a loss in their season opener. They're 0-1, and they're coached by Jay Norvell. Now, anybody that knows Jay Norvell, he just took over the head coaching position last year. Previous years, he was at Nevada. He was the head coach at Nevada. He got a long track record. Back in 2013, I think all the way to 2015, he was the wide receivers coach for the Texas Longhorns. So, he has a great football mind, a great football knowledge, and he's now the head coach of the Colorado State Rams. Now, leading up to this game, Jay Norvell's press conference, he's taking some digs at Deion himself. Sometimes you got to learn. You got to learn the hard way. You should learn from what Matt Rule did last week when he disrespected the Colorado Buffaloes and Deion Sanders. And Shador, like I said, took exception to that, and he wasn't having none of that. and they hung 36 points up on Nebraska in one of them rivalry games. You know how Nebraska and Colorado, that's a rivalry game. Now leading into this in-state rival, Colorado State and Colorado, they're chirping. But the head coach, he had his press conference. They asked him some questions, and it all, tells around Deion Sanders' post-game press conferences that he has with the media. And basically, Jay Norvell is really saying that Deion is really disrespecting the media outlet when they asking him questions because of his persona, the way he comes to the press conference with his swag, with his hat on, his glasses, and things like that. So with the remarks that Jay Norvell said about Deion Sanders, you can look at it both ways. He never kept it about football. This was personal. And in the take that I'm going to let you guys hear, if you hear it at the end, you'll understand where I'm coming from, because the remark is almost a reflection on Deion's upbringing, on basically Jay Norvell saying that your mother didn't raise you right. So now it's real personal. So it's not like he's taking shots at Deion. He's taking shots at Deion's mother as well. But the way Deion's mother has raised him, she must have raised him right, because look at all the success Deion has. The Hall of Famer. He's a world champion in baseball. He's a Super Bowl champion in football. He got the gold jacket. He got plethora of awards. Arguably the best cornerback that ever played the game. Some people arguably the best athlete. So Deion is highly coveted in the sports world. But ever since he took over the job at Colorado, it's been a spectacle. I mean, people don't like the way Deion doing things. Like in his first, interview with the kids, people jumping in and out of the transfer portal. He's talking about he's bringing Louis with him. He has his luggage, almost like handpicked his quarterback. But Shador is a proven winner. And wherever Deion goes, it translates to winning. And now all these people that was probably fans of Deion when he was playing the sport have really had a lot to say since he's became the head coach at Colorado. So when he was at Jackson State last year, the last 3 years, they wasn't taking digs at him because he turned that program around. Now that he's in the midst of turning Colorado around and he's doing it his way, and nobody thought it would be successful so far, and he's jumped off the season 2-0, people are taking personal digs at him. So I'm going to let y'all guys listen to what Jay Norvell said, and then we'll get back and I'll let you know my takes on it. Here's what Jay Norvell had to say.
We had to do a bunch of ESPN videos, and it was great. I loved it. But our kids came out of those videos really with a chip on their shoulder. They're tired of all that stuff. They really are tired of it. And I sat down with ESPN today, and I don't care if they hear it in Boulder. I told them I took my hat off and I took my glasses off, and I said, when I talk to grown-ups, I take my hat and my glasses off. That's what my mother taught me. So, they're not going to like us no matter what we say or do. It doesn't matter, okay? So let's go up there.
Wow. So you guys, man, look, I take two things out of that. The way he said his mother always told him to take his hat and glasses off when you're talking to somebody grown. I've never once heard somebody's mother telling an individual when somebody's talking to you, grown or somebody of your adolescence, to take your hat and glasses off. I've heard that don't sit at the table and eat with your hat on, but I've never heard nobody say when somebody's talking to you, make sure you remove your cap and remove your glasses, regardless if they're reading glasses or sunglasses. Like if I'm outside myself with my glasses on, my glasses turn dark so you can't see through them, and I'm talking to grown-ups, people that are older than me. That is not disrespect. So what Norvell is saying when Deion is at these post-game press conferences, He's disrespecting people because he has his hat on and he has the dark shades on. And he's saying that his mother taught him to do that. So like I said, he's disrespecting Deion Sanders' mother. And Deion Sanders' mother has done a great job raising Deion. So I've never heard of anything like that. So that's a sign of disrespect. I don't know where Jay Norvell got that statement from. I don't know what enticed him to say something like that. But when you put fuel on some fire, it's going to explode. And that's just making it more difficult and putting pressure on his Colorado State Rams to go up in the Boulder to beat Colorado, because now the kids are going to feel that pressure, because now, I know Deion and the kids heard this, and I want to know what the statement is for this week's game, because last week it was personal. The first week against TCU is we believe. We're not going down there to just play. We're going down there to win, and that's what they did. The second week against Nebraska, they took it personal, and they came out with the 36-14 victory. Now, I want to know what the motto is going into Saturday's game, because I know they seen the press clippings. I know they seen it. But you guys, have y'all ever heard of your mother telling you when somebody's speaking to you to make sure you remove your cap and remove your glasses? Never once heard of that before. So the disrespect is getting unreal. Like I said, and Jay Norvell, he's another black head coach. And for him he never kept it football. He never kept it football. That is personal digs. I could see if he kept it football, but when you added your mother in there, that was personal, because now you're taking a shot at Deion and his mother. So you guys, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Did Jay Norvell cross the line with his comments? Continue to support the podcast. Like, comment, and subscribe, share. And like I always say, I always post comments from previous episodes. I post them on here. So keep putting your comments below, and I'll respond to all comments. And if y'all have anything that you guys want to talk about on the Simply Ball Dropping podcast, you can always reach out to us at askus@simplybaldropping.com. So send us an email. We'll respond to your email. Any particular things you want to talk about on the show, we'll do it. And that's going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We'll catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
Another one.